And we're live for another edition of Friday Night Pint, the only Friday Night Pint show on the internet. I don't know, I just felt like doing that. It's me and Nicky here. We're waiting for the stragglers that are Scott and Graham that should be filtering in from the M25, and Scott's at a barbecue. It's bloody hot today, man. Are you sweating like I am, honestly?
Do you know what? I'm not sweating. I'm feeling fresh, man. I just had a bit of a spruce up, you know?
Yeah.
I'm feeling like a bit homeless, but I feel better. I feel better now.
Honestly, it does your mind in. You know, I was just sitting here trying to type some stuff up for work, and I'm just like, the brain is just working so slow. But yeah, honestly, it should be a good one.
100 degrees in Texas, mate. It's 100 degrees here today.
Bloody hell. I mean, they're bloody used to it, aren't they? They're bloody used to it over there, like English weather. We get very few days like this in the year. But yeah, honestly, no shortage of things to talk about today, honestly. So, you know, we got potentially Aguerd signed up, Rice and Moyes getting bans, you know, loads of players that we're linked to next. It's all go here today, mate. So I'm happy to start anywhere you are.
And get some of the chat involved. If you want us to have a chat about anything today, like, leave it in the comments.
Yeah, if you've got anything that we've potentially missed, then let us know. I mean, why don't we start? We can start with the I suppose it's the latest one is the Rice and Moyes apparently have been banned. Rice has got a 2-match ban for his comments about the referee. Moyes has got a 1-match ban. So I've seen someone. I wasn't too sure about when these matches which matches they were going to be, but apparently it will cover the qualifying stages of the Conference League. So it's really no skin off our nose at all.
I'm not sure about that, Dan. Like, I was thinking about this earlier, and I'm thinking to myself, like, I remember the last time when we went into European qualifiers without our best player, mate, and it didn't end well.
Do you know what? With the Nations Cup and all of that, I'm not too sure Rice would have featured anyway. He might do, you know, like after the Euros, a few England players had a bit of an extended time off.
But there's no Euro.
No, I mean, like, they've got the.
Go on.
No, they've got the Nations Cup, haven't they? They've been playing all that Nations Cup, so he hasn't really had any time off yet. Had a bit of a break, so you know.
I find it do you know what? Moyes' one I can understand because it was during a game. Rice's one, like, I find it baffling that you can't just say what's on your mind. This is a free country, He never said that in public. He never said it in public. He said it in private. You know what I mean? Like, and it was captured by a camera that just happened to be there. He never come out publicly. If he come out publicly and said that, I'd understand. But a 2-match ban for saying something that should have been kept private between the referee and him, it was just a camera just happened to be there and published it. I think that's pretty poor, to be quite honest.
So even if the camera wasn't there, though, like if you say that sort of thing to the ref, even if it's not recorded, you probably can get, like, the ref can put it in their report, can't they? And
you can put it in a report, but ultimately, like, who's going to see that report apart from them? You know, if he hasn't come out publicly and said it, like, nobody would know. Nobody would know apart from the referee, Declan Rice, and the FA or UEFA or whoever. What's the word? It would be a closed shop. It would probably be a slap on the wrist, blah blah blah. But referees, like, listen, we all say things in the heat of the moment. We all say things like we don't mean in the heat of the moment. You see it on the football pitch, like, week in, week out. They're all going and saying things like that to the referee, to the linesman, and all of that sort of thing. I don't see 2-match bans getting knocked about everywhere.
Yeah.
Listen,
he did say stuff like corruption and say
he's only saying what they all think.
Yeah, I was like, listen, my instinct is, of course, you want to back him. But I think he just did cross a little bit of a line. There's a line where you can, I think, say stuff to the ref.
But I'm sure, Dan, I'm sure he would have gone in after and said to him, "Look, I'm sorry about that, mate. It's it's emotions have got the better of me. I'm sure of it. You know what I mean?" And like, I don't know, man. Like, they don't do themselves any favors. Like that, the one before in Lyon was an actual convicted match fixer.
Yeah, and if he said it to him, it would have been one thing.
No, but I'm just saying, like, he was an actual convicted, suspended for it, fined for it, match fixer. Like, no doubt, got found guilty for it. Yeah, and they appoint them people. The fella shouldn't be refereeing football games again. He got caught cheating. He got caught manipulating the game, and he's still refereeing games of football. And he said something in the heat of the moment and got a 2-match ban for it. He's only like, it's almost like they're saying, well, we can have match fixing around the game. We can have these cheats coming back into the game, but don't you dare talk about it.
Yeah.
Am I right? Am I wrong?
Yeah, no, you're right. Sorry, fucking Dom's trolling me from Portugal with his fucking, he's stupid. I mean, if we kept Aguerd fucking business. No, but you're right. Fucking Dom. I enjoy Portugal, mate. Yeah, no, you're right. I think it's there has to be an element of accountability, and I think there has to be an element where the refs can be criticised, but it has to be clear, like they can say, because if you do allow the criticism, then you can say, look, this is the line, don't cross it. But football is an emotional game. It is an emotional game. You can't change that. You're never going to change that. So look, he's got two. It could have been.
If you don't want to talk about corruption, if you don't want people to talk about corruption or accuse people of corruption, don't let corruption back in.
No. Yeah.
It needs to be stamped out. You can't punish people for talking about something that you've invited back into the game. Like,
yeah.
I find it strange, mate. I find it very strange. But listen,
we all know it is corrupt. Yeah, honest. Just quickly read that. Matt Rainey, 179 super chat. Happy Friday. Stay safe. Enough love, lads. You too, mate. All the best. Thanks for watching. Thank you very much. And like Declan Rice and Moyes missing out on those qualifiers. Look, we shouldn't need Declan Rice. And it sounds like, I know what a lot of people are, well, we need to take it all seriously. We need to take it all seriously. No, we need a squad. We can't play, and I'm going to get onto more of this when we talk about transfers, but we shouldn't be having to play Rice in every single game this season. You have to look and be able to say, listen, Rice, you played a lot of football last season. You've played for England. I'm sure he would have been sitting those games out anyway. And Moyes, he can obviously give it to one of the coaches. Is a good coaching team. He can have a little bit of a rest. I don't think it'll be any skin off our nose. If we can't win that game without Rice, then we've got bigger problems to worry about.
I just don't know. I just want to take it seriously, because the last time we didn't take these games seriously and we sort of rested on our laurels, we come unstuck twice.
So, but shouldn't we be able to take this game seriously while utilising a squad, right? Because I feel like that's what we have to do this season. Like, otherwise, what's the point? That's what was our undoing last season, is trying to play the same 11 in every competition near enough. Like, we got to be able to say, listen, like, for example, okay, Aguerd, we're going to talk about Aguerd signing, but Aguerd and Zuma are our first choices. Dawson or Bonner, you're playing the cup games. Like, we have a cup keeper, you're the cup centre back pairing. Looking at, it's a shame Noble's gone, because I think we could have got a bit of mileage out of him in this Conference League, especially early on. But we shows we need a defensive midfielder.
It's just, we need a couple.
Yeah,
we need a couple. We need a couple in every position.
Well, we've lost Crow and Noble, haven't we? Crow didn't play.
Yeah, we've lost Crow and Noble. We need cover for Souček. We need cover for Rice. We need cover for Cresswell. We need cover for No, actually, we've got 2 right backs, but they need cover for everybody. They need cover. They need 2 in every position. I mean, 2 of quality. You know what I mean? Like, you look at what's happening down at White Hart Lane. They're getting 2 of quality in every position. 2 quality players. That. If you want to compete in the league, compete in the European Cups and all that, this is what you have to do. You have to sign quality and build your squad with quality. You said to me just now, I wouldn't expect Rice to play at this moment in time. Dan, he's got to play.
Well, yeah, he got nothing. Well, yeah, we ain't got nothing else, have we? Unless you played Souček and Lanzini there. Yeah, we need to. This is why we need to get our transfer business done early. We've got in Aguerd, which we're going to talk about. It seems that's all wrapped up, which is good and nice, an early one. We dragged it out. We need to start getting the other signings wrapped up before the season starts. Like, really and truly. Obviously, we're not going to get everyone in before the season starts, but we need some numbers in there because, well, Rice, regardless, can't play those 2 games, whether we like it or not. He can't play those games. So the only option is to play Lanzini there. Realistically, is or play Lanzini and Souček. That's going to be the best option, isn't it, for the midfield? Who else can we play there?
No, at the moment, unless we sort of promote Connor Coventry, which I've got a feeling we might, to be honest with you. I've got a feeling there's a couple of youngsters going to be sort of more in and around the squad next year. It will have to be square pegs, round holes, and we can't be doing that. We can't be doing that at this, this tenure. We should have a squad sorted by now. We should have a squad. We should have built on the squad. We knew we was going to lose players. We've lost 4 or 5 key. I wouldn't say key players, but key squad players. First team squad players. People that was in and around the first team squad every match day last year. We've lost them. They're gone. Yeah. We're not going to replace them. And some of them, I think they deserve to go. It was the likes of Fredericks. Listen, we've got Johnson and Soufal. You've got obviously Kral's loan finished. He played 1 minute in the Premier League last year, so obviously not fancied. Yarmolenko, handy at times, very rarely handy, but
didn't have the legs for it anymore.
Didn't have the legs for it. Injuries killed him, but earning too much money to be making 5-minute cameos at the end. And obviously Mark Noble. It looks like we're about to lose Ashby, which was,
lose him to who? What, loan?
No, I think we're going to lose him permanently.
You're joking.
He wants a contract, but he's asked for ridiculous money apparently, and West Ham are just.
I thought that was Perkins, or is it Ashby as well?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe
Perkins is linked away with a big money move because Villa and Leeds were looking at Perkins.
It is Perkins.
Yeah.
I was going to say. It ain't Ashby.
Yeah.
Don't listen to me. It's Perkins.
Yeah.
But that is an attacking player.
Yes. Who did start to get a little bit of game time. He started to get some, cup games here and there. He was on the fringes. But the thing is, like, where you said about Coventry, here's the worry that I have, right, from what I saw last season. There were games there. We have Lise and Baptiste, two very highly rated young centre-backs of ours, tearing it up, in the under-23s. Looked good when they did play in the first team. There was a game there where we had no centre-backs available, right? Or we had one centre-back. And Moyes, instead, like you said, square pegs, round holes, decided to play full-backs there rather than actually give Elise and Baptiste a chance, which makes me worried for the likes of Coventry. Coventry didn't, with all the youngsters that we did start seeing around the team, we didn't really see much of Coventry at all. Or Oko Flex as well, what Anas mentioned. So I don't know if Moyes will just go, all right, Ben Rama, you sit in there, or Lanzini, you sit in there, rather than give Coventry a chance. That's what I'm thinking.
I just think, as we stand right now, obviously there's a long way to go from the transfer window, and wherever you look, there's conflicting reports. One person saying we're going to spend fucking shitloads of money, and another person saying we ain't spending no money. So, like, it depending on where you look and what you want to believe. But when you look at history, I would aim more towards, we're not looking to spend a shitload of money. And I'm not saying you have to spend a shitload of money, but just for pure squad depth, we need to spend some money. We need to spend some money. And it's no good looking at, looking around at these free transfers. There are a few good free transfers around at the minute, some handy players. But a lot of these people are free transfers for a fucking reason.
Yeah, that's it.
And there's reasons why clubs are not, and have not picked them up already. There are reasons. Like, we can't go into this season on the back of like what we did at the Bolin, which was a 7th place finish as well, picking up people like Arbeloa and Nordveit and fucking trash like that. We can't afford to do that. They're not good enough. Them sort of players are not good enough for what our ambition is. What our ambition is, I'm not sure what their ambition is. Look, Stevie's saying, like, I'm surprised that we're all surprised by this start. I'm not surprised. I'm just looking for, we've gone through every single situation that there could be. We've gone through being at the bottom of the league and fighting for our lives, and they don't sign players. We've gone through being at the top of the league and fighting for top 4 in Champions League, and they won't sign players. We're going for trying to break back into the top 6 and being in Europe. They won't sign players. Like, I'm just trying to look at different situations where that sort of activates in their mind, because this is not being forgotten by us. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is not being forgotten. Like, yeah, you can use excuses all you want, saying, well, if we're fighting at the bottom of the league, you don't want to sign players because it's a risk. Well, why aren't we signing them when we're at the top of the league then? You can't have it both ways. It's like trying to have your cake and eat it. There has to be a situation where they're willing to go out and invest in the squad. And if they aren't doing it right this second, after 2 really good seasons, like even at the end of last season, you could probably have said, like, oh, maybe they just they think it's a one-off or a fluke or whatever, and they don't want to invest that much money in it, and just in case it goes tits up. Well, it hasn't gone tits up. We've built, we've kept it, and that's what you've got to do. You've got to move forward to stay still in this game, and they haven't at this moment in time filling me with a lot of confidence, because not bidding for anyone in January I feel was a slap in the face for us. They've gone out and got Aguerd. Now, all due respect, this Aguerd is meant to be a really, really good player. And like, I know Moisey wants to build from the back, but we're not desperate for a centre-back. He's our 5th centre-back.
Yeah, well, I don't. I mean, we don't know what state of Bonner's going to be in. Obviously, he don't fancy Diop. I think Diop could be on his way out, but I do think it helps to level up and bring someone that's
just if Diop's on his way out, then Dan, that's just a 1-for-1.
No, yeah, I mean, if you're looking at pure numbers, but at the same time, we have to start leveling up positions and start improving. Like, say, left back, Masuaku will probably go, right? I read that's the rumours. Masuaku's going to go. We talked a bit about this last week. We need another left back, but I don't want a Masuaku replacement. I want an Aaron Creswell replacement. And if we just have 2 there, that's fine. We don't need like 3.
This is the thing. But if you're letting even the squad players that we've got now, if you're letting them go, we still need to replace what's gone out the door already. You can't just turn around and go, oh, well, we've signed Aguerd, but you've sold Diop. Yeah, but we've signed a new left back. Yeah, but we've sold Masuaku. They're just replacing players that are going out. That's just a 1-for-1. We need to be adding to the squad, not replacing people. And like, I don't mean replacing in the way of, oh, I don't want to see Aaron Cresswell lose his place, or I don't want to see Mikel Antonio lose his place, or I don't even want to see Declan Rice lose his place. If there's someone better, fucking get them in. I'm not saying replacing them in that way. I'm just saying the players that have gone need to be replaced with better players, and that's how we move forward. If they don't do that this year, They are finished. They are
Yeah,
finished.
yeah.
And
No,
I even think like Moisey could be finished.
This is a critical transfer window for him, and I've looked at it this way because, I was having a bit of a back and forth with a few people on Twitter because we talked about, and we'll get into the sort of Dennis and Sarr links, and I look at those, and they're two players from Watford who I think would be good players, but they're both wingers. Ben Bowen is a clear first choice winger. You got the left hand side is up in the air. Apparently, Moyes sees Antonio as like he's my first choice striker. So my thought process is, well, if he's just looking at players that he wants to come and improve the first 11 in that, and say we get a Sarr, I didn't see enough from Moyes in terms of rotation last season to have confidence that we won't get another Vlasic situation. And we sign players that will come into the squad, they'll be on the bench, and they'll come off maybe like 15 minutes left to go. And if they don't hit the ground running in that 15 minutes, if they don't impress in that 15 to 10-minute cameo, then they're on the bench the next game and the next game. And then if like Sarr or Dennis don't impress in the next 10 to 15-minute cameo, then they're on the bench then, like Vlasic, where they're not getting enough runs in the team to actually start to find their feet and get momentum. And that's when I look at the Vlasic situation, and we spent 25 million on him. And look, even Ben Rama, who we spent 20 odd million on, both don't seem to be fancied. Vlasic more so. It makes me worried, and it stops me being able to get excited for new signings, because how do we know that he's not just going to drop money on someone? They maybe aren't, all of that in training, or he does look at him in training, but maybe they're not setting the world alight on training, or they're not setting the world alight in these little 5-10 minute cameos, and they're just relegated to the bench all season, and we just got no right. And he goes, right, well, sorry, Sarr, Bowen's our first choice. So Bowen, you play Conference League, you play Premier League, you play in the Carabao, you play in the FA Cup. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see the same players in every competition when we're dropping money on players. And that's my worry. I don't want to sound negative, but that's what makes me concerned. I can't get excited when we sign these players because of what I saw last season with Moyes. And I think I saw promise in Vlasic, but there has to be, when you sign a player, surely, and you spend money on them, you've got to start giving them a run of games and let them find their feet and let them have 5 out of 10s and go, all right, we're going to have faith with you and stick with you, before going, yeah, they're not all that. Maybe that's not that. You see it. So many. Dan James in Man United, right? Different example, but they gave him a good run of games in the side before coming to the conclusion that, yeah, he's not up to the standard. All right, we'll sell him to Leeds. He didn't just get like 5-10 minutes every couple of games, if that. I don't understand. If you're dropping all this money on a player, surely with how picky Moyes is, you've got to be sure that he's your guy. Like, or there's this talk about Sullivan signings, which worries me, because why are we still getting? Someone said to me, "Oh, it's okay this season. Sullivan's taking a back seat on transfers." I said, "I've been hearing that for 5 years now. Sullivan's taking a back seat on transfers. We're still getting the same shit." Crowell, that's a key position that we needed depth on. And the geezer, look, he didn't impress that much when he did play, apart from Man United. But at the same time, why are we signing this guy then? It's just, that's what frustrates me. I don't want to sound negative and that, but that's what worries me. So I can't be all like, oh, we're signing this player. Oh, Dennis, like, as much as I like this player, because we just don't know what Moyes is going to do. We don't know if he's going to rotate or give him a chance.
I do agree. I am in that mindset as well.
And I was saying this, Moyes' strength is he gets the best out of his starting 11. He gets them drilled. He gets them working hard. He gets them fit. He does that really well, Moyes. He if it comes down to his starting 11, that's what he does. He gets the best out of that 11. But his weakness is utilizing a squad of players. And you can see it last season. He got that 11. He squeezed everything out of that team and got them as far as that he could get them, right? You could tell they were on their arse, right, in games by the end of it. But what really stopped us from getting over that line is utilizing the squad. And I know the squad's not great. I know when you look at the bench and you look at the Yarmolenkos and that, who did score a couple of crucial goals, but the Masuakus and that. But that's, at the same time, that's Moyes' fault because he's had option to build on that squad. But it's like, oh no, I want to sign players that improves the starting 11. You've got to be able to utilize that squad. Like I said, I don't want to see the same players in every competition. We should be able to rotate in the early stage, take it seriously and rotate in the early stages of this Conference League. Surely we can. Surely that's an opportunity then to give Vlasic more games if he's around. Give some new players more game time.
No,
give some youngsters.
I do agree with it. I do agree with that in essence, but like what I'm saying is with the Conference League, get in it first. Don't start because Billitt's done that. He started pissing about with a team like in the qualifiers, and we never ended up qualifying. And then that's the competition that these sort of Vlasic's and that could play, but they won't play.
I think our squad is much better than what Bilic had at the time. That was the sort of Gökhan Toure, Feghouli, Nordveit era, wasn't it? Of players, and we had no. So he had a few sort of starting players in there, but when I look at, like we said, Dawson Ogbonna, like that's a first choice centre back pairing, for a lot of teams, I think. And then you got, Ben Johnson on the right, say Creswell on the left. I think they're, that's you can go in with them. It's only centre midfield that we're really light in. Then wingers, Lanzini, Benrahma, and then obviously up top we've only got Antonio, and that's a big conundrum in itself because a lot of people will argue over should Antonio be our first choice next season. Moyes seems to want him to be, but I think it really let him down that he was played into the absolute ground. He should not be playing Conference League games until we get to the knockout stages at the earliest. Really and truly,
it is early days. Like in the transfer window, it is early days, but it's not ideal, or what's the word I'm looking for here? It's not. It doesn't fill me with confidence that they're going about things any different to any other time. Like Aguerd is done, yeah. Aguerd,
which is kind of earlier than we do usually get these type of signings.
We dilly dally ran that transfer so much he nearly went to Newcastle.
Yeah, they
give another club an opportunity to slip in there because they was dilly dallying around everything. Releasing things too early, releasing like their dealings too early. Look at Aston Villa. With all due respect, Aston Villa just go out and do it. There's no
it's a lot of clubs. I'm seeing them. So you looking at other clubs' transfers. It's like bam, they've snapped up this player. Oh, here's another surprise one. You didn't know we was linked with him. Well, tomorrow he's signed. Like we're seeing that, and I just want to see us do a couple of transfers like that. I want someone out of the blue or someone where they go, how the fuck did West Ham sign that player? How did he convince him to try? Fulham, they're making some big signings that you think, oh, they're punching above their weight. I want to see us get some signings punching above our weight because we're linked with a lot of players from relegated teams, and there's nothing wrong.
It's not that. Like, when you see the likes of Tottenham have signed 3 already, yeah. Now Conte's come in, he's made a shortlist and he's giving it to the chairman, and I think the chairman at first was a little bit, okay, we'll have a go and all that, and he's gone in there and gone, no, you get these players for me. I can't succeed unless you get them for me, right? Now, bear in mind, we haven't signed anyone since last summer. I think the last player we signed was
Zuma, was it? Was Zuma the last one or Vlasic?
Vlasic, I think, was the last one. So we haven't done any business since then. There should be things lined up.
Yeah.
There should be things lined up.
The thing is, isn't it? I think this summer this is our last chance to stay up in these positions and stay fighting for the European places. Like, you talked about Newcastle, you talk about Aston Villa, the teams that we've been competing with, the Arsenals and the Tottenhams, and Man United, they're all strengthening. You know, you look at those teams, and then there's the other teams that have the potential to try and break. You know, Leicester could come back strong. Yeah. So if we fall out of it and fall back down into mid-table, it might be hard to really get back up here again. It's this summer.
Dan, just take some comments for the minute.
Yeah. We have to get this summer near enough perfect. So yeah, let's get your comments in. We'll start with this one, but guys, can you use the chat comments? Yep, get your comments in. We started off epic hashtag talking about that. If we don't have a good window, what was the point of Newman? Thing is with Newman, it's hard to know if he might be doing his job and recommending all of these players, and Moyes might be going nah, or the board might be going, yeah, we can't afford him. Lingard will never be the same again. Yeah, he's kind of ruined it. Basuma for 25 mil is a fucking bargain. Apparently, we turned down the chance to sign Basuma. Now, you know, I'd done a show with my mate Tobes the other day. He said that he don't believe Spurs would have signed Basuma if they weren't confident that his court case would be sorted and he'd be fine. You know, so that's going to be interesting to see how that turns up. If it is the case and he does get off, you think, geez, we've missed a good opportunity there. By, you know, I want to talk about Ward-Prowse in a minute, actually, because apparently preferred Ward-Prowse. Yeah, I would like to sort of talk about that. We're linked with him for 70 million.
Saying preferred Ward-Prowse, what's Ward-Prowse going to cost us?
Yeah, £70 million apparently is what they value him at, or euros or whatever.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Like, we're not going to go and spend 25 on a centre back, then another 70 on Ward-Prowse, then another 30 on a striker.
Would you be happy for us to pay 70 mil for Ward-Prowse? Like, would you, if we've done that, would you be like brilliant, or would you be like, nah?
I don't think so. Not £70 million. Like, £70 million is a lot of money. And I know look, as I said, mate, like it is what they want. You know, you can't argue with it. If we're going to sit here and say why we want £150 million for Declan Rice, James Ward-Prowse is a very, very important player for Southampton, and they're going to have to go out and replace him. And
that's not a problem, them wanting it. It'd be the problem for me, us paying it. I think that's fine. That's their do one.
We won't pay it. We won't pay it. That's what I'm saying. Like, what's the point in missing out on a player like Basuma? Look, he may well have always chose Spurs over us because they've got Champions League football.
Yeah, but the thing is,
let's be honest, they've got a better team at the minute. And a better chance of progressing. I honestly think, like, and I know a lot of people ain't going to want to hear this in the comments here. I think Tottenham could challenge next year. I think they could be challenging at the top of the league.
Listen, I don't think they could be. Listen, I heard about your dodgy predicted table with Man City third and Spurs second and Liverpool. Listen, I think they'll have a good season. But the thing is, Nick, I agree. I think Basuma would choose them as much as it hurts to say over us. But this is why sometimes you get in early. You get in early before other teams get a chance to move. And sometimes you get to beat players and to take players they would have got them because they would have thought. And they realize, like, oh, fuck, they got Basuma's shit. They've done that to us. That's why you got to get in there quickly and be decisive and go, all right, here's 30 mil, Brighton. 30 mil, here's your wage, let's get that sorted. But
look, I can see the comments, how many pints you drunk, Spurs challenges, laughing and all that. Listen, say what you want to say, right, about Tottenham. And trust me, I don't like Tottenham as much as you guys don't like Tottenham, but they're doing their shit. They're getting organised. They're organised and they're getting ready for the new season. They had a real good end to the season, last year. Yeah, it coincided with Arsenal sort of dropping points and all of that sort of thing. But they've got, whether you want to admit it or not, they've got a really good manager there in Conte who's getting his stuff organised. He's no mug, Conte. He's no mug. He knows what he wants and he knows what he's going to get. And like, he's gone out and done his business. He's doing his business really early. Like, We'll see anyway. When it comes to the end of the season, I could be completely wrong, and I hope I am. But
is the thing what the thing is with that, Nick, is I think they will improve a lot, right? But you look at the gap between Liverpool and Man City and everyone else last season, it was huge, and I think it's too big a gap to make up in one transfer window for them to go.
There's changes being made at both of them clubs, Dan. There's changes being made. They've just sold Mane, Liverpool. Like, Mane's been a huge part of their attacking three. They've signed a geezer from Portugal. Although he looks really good, he's unproven in this league. You know what I mean? Like, when you start to, when you start to sort of break teams up, and they're so used to playing with each other and that, like, and Haaland coming in. Haaland, as much as I like Haaland, Haaland's an out-and-out number 9. Pep don't like number 9s. He's going to want to try and convert him, but he's going to have to play. And like
this is the signing Phillips as well.
I think there's gaps there.
Phillips, like, for them to challenge, it has to be that there's a moment where they look like they have an opportunity to win the league, not just come second. I think Man City, they're strengthening too much, and they don't need all of their players to hit the ground. It'll be interesting. If you're right,
to be honest with you, mate, I don't give a fuck what they do. To be honest with you, what I'm saying is if you look at the way they're conducting themselves, Aston Villa, they've identified, they've bid, they've secured. Like Aston Villa, they signed players in January. Spurs, they went and signed players in January. They've identified, they've bid, they've secured. And that's what you've got to do. It feels like to me that we're still deciding. How fucking long do you want? Like, how long do you want to, decide on a striker? It's been 500 days since we sold our striker. We've not had one since. 500 days. How fucking long do you need? Identify, secure, unveil. That's all that needs to be done. Why are we still dithering around? Like, out of all the clubs at the top, I expected us to be doing our fucking business early, because we didn't do any business.
This is it. And with the Aguerd deal, and I'm glad we're getting him done sort of in June, but this is like just the first sign.
This is just a comment from Simon Parker. Just calm down. I believe in Moyes. Moyes sent a fucking clear message to I believe, to the board at the end of last season, when he turned around and said at the end of the Brighton game, if we play like this next season, or I'm not having some of these players doing this. If we play like this, we'll be battling at the bottom of the league. Yeah. He wasn't talking to the media. He wasn't talking to us. He's talking to the board, saying, like, this shit needs to be sorted out.
Yeah, but he's part of the thing. He's part of the problem we have with transfers. Like, he's up there, mate. I fully think he is up there, and his pickiness is sometimes good. It's been good because, to be selective and fix some of the issues we have with signing every Tom, Dick, and Harry. But I think he's too picky. He's too. He overthinks and he overanalyzes every player, and it's like, if they don't come in and just fucking hit the ground running, he's done with them. So he's like, I need someone who's going to come in and instantly be everything that I need, rather than just being like, I want this player.
1,044 days since West Ham last signed a striker.
Really? No. Oh, signed a striker. Sorry, I thought since we sold it. Yeah,
and that was Caleri, I believe.
It's fucking Caleri who Celtic want rid of.
1,044 days. I think Caleri was signed the season before Haller, to be honest, but it's not far off that, mate. If you think about it.
This is the thing. When it comes to the transfer window closing, if we haven't got what we need, or the signings we got don't work out, I'm holding the board accountable. I'm holding.
So it wasn't Caleri, it was a Yeti. I forgot about him.
Oh, a Jetty, yeah, not Caleri, yeah, Jetty, yeah, that's the one.
I always get them two mixed up, always.
Yeah. No, but I'll if we don't get what we need, I'm going to hold the board accountable, Moyes accountable, Newman accountable. There is no excuses for us not getting exactly what we need. I don't want us to get players. Moyes don't play him and go, oh well, of course Moyes ain't going to play him. He's shit. We shouldn't get players in that the manager's not going to play because they're shit. Every player we get in, they need to be quality, because the last 3 transfer windows have been a complete letdown. They've been subpar completely. Like last August goes under the radar because apart from Zuma and Areola, we didn't do anything. So that's 2 players, 2 decent signings last window, right? And Areola was just a cup keeper, by the way. We didn't do anything, and that's where we needed to kick on. We don't ever go for the jugular when we're in a position of strength. Sign from a position of strength. Don't rest on your laurels. Just keep building and building.
Yapushi says apparently Jonathan David is back on sale for £42.5 million from Lille. Only ones interested are Villa and West Ham, and everyone knows he's going to go to if he goes to the Prem. Listen, mate, if Jonathan David is available for £42.5 million, mate, I'd have someone over there with brown envelopes. She's handing out brown envelopes. They're fucking sweeties.
Yeah, but this is
mate, he is a fucking superb player. He'd fit into our. I really like him. He would be my preferred, mate, out of anyone.
The problem is, I think we're looking. We don't know who we want when it comes to the striker. We don't know who we want. We don't know the type of striker we want. We're linked with so many. There's the what's it? El Yassouf El Nesri, yeah, is the latest one that's come in, and that doesn't fill me with confidence at all. Excitement. Yeah, 2 seasons ago, like last season, he flopped. Apparently, he didn't have a great season at all last season. So then you're hoping he comes in and picks up his form again from 2 seasons ago. I mean, look, whoever listened, if Moyes says that's my guy, El Nesri, he is the guy I want, then sign him. I'll get on board with it. But I don't. If he's shit, well then that's on the manager, because you had the choice then to go. Should I just go like Jonathan David is there? Let's go all out for him. You've gone for this, geez. You've taken a gamble. The signings have to be spot on. No excuses. So I'm gonna try and. It's so hard. It's so fucking. I keep saying to myself, you know what? I'm going to relax. I'm not going to pay. I haven't been on Twitter that much these days. And when I do, I'm not going to react to every rumor, every story. It's fucking hard to just chill and just go, let's wait and see. Namaste. I don't know about you, but I'm really struggling with it. I'm trying to be Mr. Positive. I'm trying.
No, I am as well. As I said, like as Dean, he says, I know we should not be getting concerned yet, but we have every right to after our recent transfer disasters. Yeah. Like, there's such a good mood around the club at the minute. There's such a good mood around the club. Everyone's had a fucking ball of a time, and they've given them a little bit of a pass that they don't really deserve, to be fair, because of one swallow does not a summer make, as they say. No. But they're in real danger of turning it all sour again, especially if we start bad again. Honestly, mate, as a West Ham fan, I've been through lots and lots of different emotions as a West Ham fan. I honestly don't think I can take it again. That sort of thing.
No, not when you've been so close. We had it in our grasp, to that glory, and to go back. That would just be heartbreaking, man. That would just be tough to take. I can't. Yeah, it makes it even worse.
Yeah, no, the whole fallout of it all and all of that sort of thing, and like another Burnley and all that sort of thing. I don't think my nerves can take it. My fucking mental health can take it. It was a tough time. Like, it was a tough time.
Yeah, and look, me and you, we've done a lot of shows with the Sky 6, fans, and we've been able to stick our chest out a bit. To go backwards, mate, we're in for some shit if that happens. We're in for it, mate.
Jezza says, Nicky, I'm loving the trim. Reminds me of Hopper from Stranger Things. Wasn't Hopper just a prisoner of war? What are you saying?
In the news.
Of war.
If you shave that down to stubble, you would look like him.
Maybe we should, when Halloween comes, mate, we've got our We've got our Halloween costumes.
That could be it. You got to wear the prisoner of war outfit and all of that stuff. A few comments asking us about Jay Lings. Now, this comment could age terribly, but honestly, right now, fuck Jay Lings. I'm done with him. He's like all of this pissing about wanting more money after, you know, what we did to rejuvenate his career and get him back in contention of the England squad. I know he didn't make it, but we got him back into contention for England. And now to come in and want nearly double what Man United were paying him, you know, it's ridiculous. And the fact that no one snapped him up yet, it shows that, you know, maybe he's overestimating himself a bit.
Well, he'll have to drop his demands. It's demands like that. I think they're risky. Like for a free agent, I think they're risky. Like, that's a lot of money to be paying someone. Like, even if you ain't paid the transfer fee, it's a lot of money. And like, I don't know whether I want someone that comes in and says I want that much money. You know, like, what he should be saying is, give me a chance, give me what I'm on now, and if I do well for you, then give me that much money.
Yeah. Even look, if he even wanted a little 20 grand raise or something and and a signing on bonus, you take that. But to want to go and say, I should be your highest paid player, you know, reevaluate your wage structure for me, where he was at about 5 months with us, and he sort of tailed off towards the end. Let's not forget, he had a real purple patch, and you know, his form dips a little bit towards the end. So,
and he hasn't played.
He hasn't played.
He hasn't
Apart
played.
from scoring that fucking goal against us, the little prick. He should fucking take a wage cut just for that. Cost us top bloody 6. And you look at it, that goal. We needed another point.
I guess when you look at it,
he should be taking a wage cut just for that, the bastard.
But it's you know, I think he's, you know, I would steer away from players like that. I would.
There's other players.
He was brilliant for us. He was brilliant for us, but you know, seeing as he's left the club, he isn't actually exactly well. I don't know what offers he's got, but it doesn't look like there's been like loads and loads of talk about him going anywhere. All the talk last year, you know, you see me, I run into fucking like a bit of a beef with his brother. Saying he should have come back to us, and he never. And he's going, oh, you don't know what the real reasons are. Well, what's his fucking excuse now?
Oh, all this story about his watch getting nicked, that was the other rumor, wasn't it? Like, his problems because of his watch got stolen from the dressing room and all that shit. And it's just sometimes.
Yeah, but Dan, this is what I'm saying. When I was saying last year, he should have come back to us, and like, I think he's like ruined, like he's wasting his career by piss balling about at Man United. And his home brother, was like quoting me and fucking like getting my video up and saying, you don't know the half of it. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Well, tell me now. It's only you and your brother in charge.
Yeah.
So
yeah, exactly. It's ridiculous. And there's younger players out there. Look, we're linked with Sarr and Dennis, right? And I look at someone like Sarr, and I know he's predominantly a right winger, but he can play anywhere, you know, in that, across that line. And I can't see him being signed to start ahead of Bowen, so he probably would play there. And he's got energy, he's got pace. He looks like someone who is exactly what we need, and he can sort of do the job that Lingard did. Be that player to be more direct and go on those runs and take players on. That's something like that. A player like that does excite me if he can play there, and Dennis as well. Like, I'd much rather turn to players like that where Lingard is about to turn 30, and attitude is a worry based on, the way he's acting now. Like, if he's going to act like this, move on. I don't want him.
The board apparently are getting together in a couple of weeks to assess how much the transfer kitty should be and the strategy we should use. That should have been done.
What?
That should have been done. If that ain't done yet, that's a fucking embarrassment.
We're waiting in July to go. How much we got to spend? This should have been done like before the end of the fucking season. Like, how can you wait?
It's a joke.
Yeah. A month into the transfer window, right? How much are we spending, and what's the strategy? It's like, what? I don't know where you heard that from, Peter, but that's mental.
Yeah, Luke Claxton says you have to think though. He saw Ronaldo, Varane, Sancho, and told he would play. He's a Mancunian at the end of the day. Manchester is his home. Can't blame him. Probably thought he would win the Premier League. I do understand in a way that, you know, of course it is his club and he's a Man United fan, and you know maybe he wanted to give it one last shot, but you can't. You know, as I said before, like. I'd done a show over on DR Sports with Flex, and we was talking about Lingard, and I said in the video he should have come back to us. I think he's like silly for not coming back. Like his career was back on the up. You know, he was back in the England setup. You know, he was playing regular football. We loved him here. He should have come back, and I think he's stupid for choosing not to. And his brother quoted me and took that video and said, you don't know the half of it. You don't know who makes the decisions, blah, 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 blah. So here we are. Like, this is what I'm saying. Here we are, right? Man United have no more control over him. No more. He's a man. He's literally a free agent. If he really wanted to come back to West Ham, he'd be back. He'd have been fucking knocking on our door. He's swanning around Miami at the minute.
There's no good reason.
Well, I mean, he's on holiday. What do you fucking need an holiday from? He ain't fucking done anything.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. There's no good reason why he shouldn't be a West Ham player already. And it just goes to show you that Villa and Newcastle are fucking throwing crazy wages at players, right? And the fact that they haven't snapped
I mean, like...
show.
I would steer away from players as well that would go for them stupid, crazy wages as well. Like, if that's what they want, like, steer away from that. Because you look at Everton. Yeah. Spending money doesn't always mean success. I mean, they was 2 kicks away from going down, go down to the Championship.
That's what I think Villa are doing in Everton when I see their signings. I think they're doing in Everton. And yeah, I think, but this is the thing. Moyes has to come to this decision and right now and say, look, I'm just going to give up on Lingard, because it seems like he wants him badly. And I don't feel like Moyes has fully given up on Lingard. But we can't have this being a saga all summer, chasing Lingard, and then he goes and joins, say, Newcastle. And then we're like, shit, maybe we should have signed someone else.
Yeah, I think that's what we do. That's what we do too much, is we put all our eggs in one basket. Where the fuck is Graham driving from? Spain?
Yeah. I know what happened. He was on the M25. He said he'd get here just after 7. It's well after 7. Yeah, it is well after 7. To say the least.
They're not coming. That's what it is. They're not coming.
Just us two. So, but yeah, any other...
take some more comments, Dan, before we go on. Let's go ask us anything.
Yeah, let's take some comments, and any other players that you've seen us link with you want to talk about.
Any other business?
Ollie, Lingard and Dele are prime examples of players who believe the hype about themselves. Yeah. Show no ambition under these owners yet. This is the time to show ambition. Did you hear that rumor, by the way, quickly? And it's been sort of dismissed by old Sean about Brady apparently going back to Birmingham City. I think everyone got a bit excited, but apparently,
Sullivan's investing some money there.
Is that allowed? Is that allowed?
Well, I think what he's doing is he's loaning it to someone else.
Yeah.
To go and he's loaning it, but it's not a loan, is it? He's probably investing back into it. He tried to do the same with Bolton.
Anas says, I'm more scared of Forest away than City at home. Yeah, that worries me. I look at that run of games. That's a real tough run of games. And I think Forest away, that's going to be their first home game in the Premier League in a long time. And, Arsenal come unstuck for Brentford's first home game in the Premier League. And so you've got Man City at home, then you've got Forest. We've got Spurs that month. We've got Villa, who are going to be spending like crazy. We've got Chelsea in September, first game in September. That run is tough. And so we can't sit there and wait until August 30th to start trying to get like fucking 3 players in.
That's what I'm saying.
Before the start of the season.
And I said this exactly the same last year, is that we waste too many games still trying to sort out. That's why this shit should be sorted out. That's why you should be signing these players now. It ain't like we ain't had long enough.
Yeah.
Like you can't
Brighton
be
as well.
around on August the 30th trying to like. It's like we're like the people that go out on Christmas Eve to buy all their Christmas presents, and they're just
That's
fucking
me.
like running around the shops on Christmas Eve, like trying to pick up whatever we fucking can because we're so unprepared. That's what we're like. That's what we are. We're the equivalent of that, and we can't afford to do. There's already 6 games before, or 5 games before that.
Yeah.
There's already 5 games before that. That's a lot of that's a big chunk of the season gone.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Get some players, some key positions in before that game. D, would you take Bale on a 6 months contract? Nah. Do you know what? He's a quality player. I just think it's the wrong profile of player we should be looking at. Like, I don't think he's got the right attitude. I think he's sort of checked out a little bit on football. You saw him.
I think he'd be good. I think he's going to be good this year. I've heard he's. I'll be honest with you. I've heard he's finished with football. Yeah, I've heard that if Wales wouldn't have got through to the World Cup, that'd have been him done. I've even heard like rumours that he's willing to go to the Championship to keep himself fit for the World Cup until the World Cup. You know what I mean? So he's definitely done with football, but he's so good and he's so desperate to play in that World Cup. I'd take him on a contract until the World Cup. I would.
It depends on how much you're paying him and all of that. But I just think having a player that's sort of just using you to stay fit and isn't really bought in to what you're trying to do.
You have to accept that with him. He done it to Tottenham. He made his name at Tottenham and pissed off to Madrid. He went back there last year and he basically just turned around and went, "Yeah, I'm just using these to, you know."
Yeah, and really, he didn't really live. I mean, I'm not saying, you know, he had some decent games, but he didn't live up to the potential of what we know he's capable of. You could tell he wasn't all in, you know. Good old Steve Bell says, Nick, any news on FMP2? That's FMP Live 2.
Not just yet, mate. It's still early doors, but there will be.
Keep tuned in. Keep looking out. So I wouldn't take him. You've seen his haircut. I think it's about Bell. Listen, Bell. I think he'd fit in more at Leeds with that haircut. They like all them top knots and all that, didn't they? You know. Let's see.
Yeah, I think it's futile anyway.
I don't think
you should say Bell wouldn't come to us. No, he probably wouldn't. No, but if there was an opportunity, I would.
Yeah. Honestly, I think the ex-Spurs thing. So Mark Wright, better defender than Creswell. He's talking about the. You know what? It was good seeing Nobes play in the old charity game and that, and it's just a shame he didn't get that genuine England cap it really deserved. But I just think Nobes could have had. I think he had one more season in him. I really think he had one more season in him.
Nah. Always leave them wanting more, damn. Never outstay your welcome.
I don't. I just we're going to be so light in this central midfield position. I think that's, really, it's a shame. It's a shame. Are we getting Pope or Areola? We got to get this Areola. This is another deal we're dragging out. A lot Areola. We're like doing our best to fuck it up. It seems. Yeah. Like, again, giving Newcastle a chance to on alert and go, come in and slip in and start to take it.
Fulham his old club.
Yeah. Yes.
Manjana's eye. Someone's just said, yeah, we haven't spoke about him yet. He's all right. Nothing. Manjana's eye.
I haven't seen anything about that link. I haven't seen that news. What's
that's a big link. Free transfer. He's leaving Sociedad. He's obviously the old Man United kid. Remember him?
Right. And was he? He wouldn't have been at Sociedad when Moyes was there, would he? He wouldn't have.
Yes, I think he's been there a while, mate. And he has worked under Moyes before. Yeah, I couldn't work out whether he's at United or Sociedad. So
Don't need to spend quick like Husilos. Do you know what? I just smile because it just brings me back to more Nicky saying Husilos signing of the season, signing up signing of the season when we did our predictions. My mum asked when are we doing our season predictions review, but I don't think we did a season predictions last season.
No, we didn't do season predictions, but it's because it was like COVID times and all that sort of thing. There was a lot of us couldn't get together, and
we can do a season predictions for this season for sure.
We will be doing all that and the annual quiz, which I might see if we can get a few of the Patreons and make it like a pub quiz.
Listen, just know I am undefeated in the annual quiz as it stands. So if you want to
figure that for as you said that,
it's just saying a swig. Listen, if you're gonna come for me, you better come hard. Yeah, you're gonna swing for the king. Don't miss. That's all I'm saying. Calvert-Lewin would be a good signing. I'm unconvinced on him. I think his injuries last season, he's injured quite a bit. And I question his attitude a little bit. But I didn't write the quiz. That was Nicky, I think. There was Nicky done one. Yeah. Nicky.
Someone else must have done it last year because I was involved.
Yeah, you was involved. I don't know.
Scott? I think it might have been Scott. No, I'll tell you it was Gio. The last quiz we had.
Gio did do it. Yeah, so we'll see what happens with that. Then that was I can't read that. That sounded sus. Wait, what sounded sus? What did I say that sounded sus? If you come for the king, don't miss. I don't know. I've heard that. I've heard other people say it. I was just copying that. I thought it would sound like the right thing to say. Brozier, yeah. Look, I still don't know what's happening with the Brozier links. We're being linked with him quite a bit. I would take him, but it all depends, I guess, on Chelsea. Chelsea being quite slow with their transfer business. They're obviously trying to get Lukaku off the books and then find another striker. So we have to see what they do. So that if we get Brozier, that's going to be one that we're going to have to wait a while for. That's not going to be an early signing.
It looks more likely like Sarr and Dennis at the minute. But I have heard that Sevilla striker coming up is turned Moyes' head a little bit.
And listen, if Moyes looks at him and goes, you know what, he'd fit exactly what I want to do. But I just think he scored like 5 goals last season, apparently.
I'm just saying. He likes strikers that don't score a lot of goals anyway.
Yeah, exactly. He likes wingers that can play as fucking strikers. Maybe that's why we linked with all these wingers again. Sarr, Dennis. It's like, yeah, let's just stick them all up front.
Yeah.
But yeah, what's happening with Diop? I think I can honestly see us selling Diop if we get the right price. I saw
Diop, man, because Diop at times looks like an absolute unit and a Rolls Royce. He's just not got the concentration levels for the Premier League.
He had some good runner games at that time.
Yeah, he did. But he's just not got the when he was our first choice, like he looked absolutely world beater 1 minute, and then he gets caught ball watching too much. He gets caught under the ball too much. Gets caught out of position. Yeah,
he's linked with Newcastle. He could. I saw his link with Newcastle.
Yeah, he might deal better with someone.
All right, 50 mil, thank you, Newcastle. We'll take that. Listen, let's get on the Newcastle.
Mate, if Newcastle come calling, everyone's got to be double the price.
Yeah, the Newcastle price. So this is off topic, off football. So fuck no, this isn't. But I meant to click Matt's one. Oh yeah, topical. Hey Dan, you heard about Vince McMahon recently? There's the Vince McMahon scandal that's going on. He's been investigated for paying off lots of women to hush money.
Why don't that surprise me?
Yeah, it doesn't. It's not surprising. So he's temporarily stepped down from WWE as CEO pending investigation. But amidst this, he's going to be appearing live on SmackDown tonight while all this is going on. So no one knows what he's going to say. He was going to be.
He's always had this this thing, McMahon, with blurring reality with fiction.
Yeah.
And like 20 years ago or so, he started writing himself in storylines where he was having affairs with employees.
Yeah.
and like behind his wife's back and like sending his wife nuts and all that. Yeah.
But he was the fun. I remember when he was rumored to be buying Newcastle. Can you imagine? Could you imagine him as the owner of your football club? Jeez, that would be. I would have loved to have seen him own not West Ham, but I would love to see him take over someone like Newcastle and just see what the fucking hell he does with that. Jeez, honestly.
Let's start a wrestling channel. I don't know anything about wrestling anymore.
Listen,
start a retro wrestling channel.
Jace and Charlie from Hammer's Chat had a wrestling channel called Glorified Jobbers, but they don't do it anymore. But they started one. I did the graphics for them. So subscribe to it, but there won't be any content coming out for the foreseeable future. But you can go and see the old videos on there. But yeah, honestly, that's fucking crazy. But yeah, I would have loved to see him buy a club, just not West Ham, because that would be fucking insane. But listen, American owners in general are suspects. I think obviously Chelsea have got one now. And that because we've been linked with American owners, we've got Trip Spiffs invested, so everyone's sort of looking now at Chelsea game. Could American owners actually be decent? That's the question. So we'll see what they do. But yeah, like Golden Sullivan's time has got to be coming to an end soon. Surely, yeah,
it's got to be. It'll be the end of the season.
This is another thing, actually. Speaking of Sebastian Coe, fucking Lord Coe, as he likes to be known, has come out and he's sort of said, because West Ham were trying to get rid of the Athletics, get the Athletics gone, and I think the stadium operators are.
Fucking the Athletics have got rid of the Athletics by themselves. They ain't been there for fucking God knows how long.
No, it just costs too much bloody money to do it. But like Sebco's trying to fight us to keep the Athletics at the ground because he's like, London should have Athletics and it should have track and field.
London has got Athletics. You can go to Crystal Palace.
Exactly. We don't need it. Like that man is honestly, he's investigating. He's cost the taxpayer so much money with this just ridiculousness. And the best thing for the Athletics, the best thing for the country is move it on. It just doesn't work there. Like, stick it at Crystal Palace, stick it in Birmingham. The new thing's been built up in Birmingham. And let's make this as much of a football ground as can be. That's
block this spot. Has that already been done?
They're everywhere, these fucking things. They're everywhere.
Well, we're going to start wrapping up now anyway.
Yeah, any other questions before we wrap up? Get them in. Scotland's Graham's going to come in a minute, wouldn't they? Right here.
No, they can carry on.
Yeah, they'll carry on without us. Coe's vanity project is right, mate. But yeah, honestly, so get your question.
Ainike, I know you haven't watched wrestling lately, but if you had time, watch AEW. Nah.
Yeah.
No, I ain't got time.
Yeah, trust me, it's not that. You're not missing anything, to be honest, for the most part. Do you watch Love Island? No, I've muted it on Twitter and it's still appearing on my timeline.
I would never watch that shit if you paid me. But I was having lunch with someone yesterday and they was telling me like some interesting things about it. Sounds like an interesting concept, but I wouldn't bring myself. Yeah, they were saying like they put all these men and women in a villa, yeah. But I'm probably teaching people how to suck eggs, right? But they put all these men and people in and they sort of get paired up and all of this sort of thing, right? Then halfway through, they move the men and the women away from each other. So they put one in one villa and one in another villa, and then send in another load of like girls into the boys' villa and boys into the girls' villa, and it starts getting a bit tasty, apparently.
Yeah, I recently, as part of my job, I had to go and assess someone who works on Love Island. So I spent 4 hours listening to them talk about how Love Island's made, how it's marketed, all the behind the scenes stuff. And it was just like, I was just thinking, oh my God, I fucking hate Love Island. But yeah, I had to spend all that time listening to Love Island and how it's done and what it's all about. Because I've never seen an episode in my life. Nikki, how do you put up with Ty during those England watch-alongs? The bloke would give aspirin a headache. I've never heard that one.
He's a lovely boy. He's a lovely guy. Well, I say boy. He's not a boy. He's a fucking fully-grown man. He's a lot older than me. He's a lovely guy, really lovely guy. But what can I say about him without? I don't want to insult the man.
He's
gone when it comes to Arsenal. He won't, and he's so stubborn. And it's difficult, but
he's very biased. Is the nice way of putting it. He's very biased.
He takes everything with good taste, though, in good spirit, from people he knows, not from people he don't. I basically laughed in his face because I said to him, "Who do you reckon Declan Rice would rather go to Man United or Arsenal?" He went Arsenal, and I was laughing.
I see that. I shared that with a couple of people because, Jesus, I mean, some of them, some Arsenal fans, we spoke about this a few weeks ago, think they could get Bowen or think that Bowen would be a good squad player. Like, it's not just Ty, it's a lot of their fan base.
They've got a few that are grounded.
Yeah, listen, my mate Dan Potts, he does a show with lead judges. He's another one, very grounded, very real, says it how it is. I loved, Lee Gunner. I see his video the other day was priceless. I shared it. And he come out and he was saying about all these fans getting excited over Vieira, this Fabio Vieira geezer.
Yeah.
And it's just all these people that act like they watch the Portuguese league. Oh, he's fucking brilliant. It's like, how long you're watching the fucking English league? The same time you watch the Portuguese league as you watch the French league, as you watch the Spanish league. Like everyone's an expert. And listen, Nick, I take exception to that. Everyone says I'm negative. How can I be the tie? Although when I go on these shows, sometimes with rival fans, I do feel like I have to back my club a bit and stick up for the West Ham a bit. So I do get a little bit tie-ish at times. But yeah, honestly, it's one of those. Sometimes you just you're having all these people have a pop at West Ham. You think, nah, do you know what? I'm not having it. West Ham, yeah, we can do well. Why not? I just think people, listen, when it comes to West Ham, I worry and I get anxious about everything going wrong. But at the same time, I don't like people writing us off and dismissing us. Like, why can't we do well? Why is it a fact that we're going to finish 7th this season at highest? I didn't know Nobes' thing was coming out.
Yeah, I pre-ordered Nose Over. Will we be reading that? I definitely will. I'll be doing a book review on that, to be honest. I'll be reading
is he doing it on audiobook? I like an audiobook, me. If I can get it on Audible and Nobes reading it.
What about if he done an audiobook, but I read it?
Listen, if you not get sued. If we could do it and not get sued.
I'll offer my services for free to do the audiobook.
Yeah, we could do that. I mean, did you see did you see that clip from his documentary where he goes up to that old boy who's his mate's dad and that, and he was going to him, oh yeah, he was an horrible little bastard, Nobes, and Nobes goes to him, listen, I've been coaching. I think I'll give you a run for money. He goes, what's that? Walking football. And the old boy goes to him, you've made a career out of walking football, sir. he done Nobes like a good one.
Like a kipper.
Honestly. Did you watch the England car crash? Yeah, I see.
Yeah, I watched all four. All four of them.
Yeah. Listen, Southgate is an absolute prick for subbing Bowen off at half-time. Completely threw him under the bus. And actually, as if like...
He weren't good.
Yeah, but all right, Nick, who was good? Who was good in that game?
No one was good, but he weren't good.
But this is the thing, Nick. So no one was good, but you're making a point of subbing off Bowen at half-time. He didn't sub him off for tactical reasons. He didn't change the system or anything. He's made the like-for-like substitution, and it did nothing. So you look at all of these other players, and you think he's the one that you earmark to sub off at half-time. Couldn't give him a little 10 minutes into the second half.
Yeah, I think he might have been protecting him a little bit. You don't want to, Do
you think that's I think protecting him would have been subbing him in the 60th minute or something. I think because when you sub someone at half-time, it just makes a clear statement. You were shit in half. You were the worst player up in the first half.
I don't know. I think you're looking at it wrong. I think he's trying to. He'd had a few games, England games. They weren't sort of like up to England standard, and I think you should think.
I think people are overcritical of him, like they were with Rice. Because he didn't. Let's be real. Rice didn't come in and just set the team alight.
Somebody's made a good point here. Yeah, there's at one point he tripped over the ball as he was through, mate. He needs to learn to, because he does that for West Ham. He needs to learn how to get better control of that ball and use that space to run into that space. He really
Saka was having a mare. Saka was having a mare.
Yeah, shit as well.
Ramsdale was absolutely shocking.
Now I don't think I'm not a Ramsdale fan, but I don't think Ramsdale was at fault for any of them goals.
No way! Come on, man. No, one of them goals. He's sitting there. His eyes are closed. He's fucking falling the wrong way. He's not even looking. He's just in no man's land. And then another one. He's moving out of the way. The goal. I think it's easy because the whole team was shit. It's easy to go, poor goalkeeper.
Honestly, but Dan, let's have a look, right? We've been pretty poor over them games, right? But we lost 1-0 to Hungary, which was a fucking hooky. That was a hooky decision, really. Let's be honest, it was a fucking bad decision. We drew 1-1 with Germany. We drew 0-0 with Italy. Then we go and get smashed by Hungary again. Who was the one player missing?
Rice.
The non-world class player that is overrated and English tax, and he's not world class. He's missing, mate. That midfield, God's honest truth, looked like Thames Ironworks midfield.
Yeah,
it was fucking shocking.
Yeah,
and the two of them, and these two kids that Leeds fans big up Philip saying he's better than Rice. Fucking everyone bigs up Bellingham saying he's better than Rice. Fucking pair of them didn't look like they'd ever played football before.
It really shows you how much of an important player that he is when he was missing. It was fucking clear as daylight. So, yeah, he's undroppable. He is one of the first names on the team sheet, Rice, and people want to question his price tag. Leave out of it. And I'm sorry, Pickford would have saved some of them goals. He's number one, Pickford. Clearly, people just look at him and go, he was in a relegation battle.
The person that was really bad as well was that Gahey. I thought he was really poor, really, really poor. But then everyone was. It's not. I'm not getting fucking carried away over some fucking Nations League performances, mate. They didn't even want to be there. You could tell. Yeah,
it's just you can't get it. But this World Cup
in 10 days is a fucking joke.
Yeah, it is too much, to be fair. I just think you can't be losing fucking 4-5-0 at home to Hungary, whatever the situation is. Come on.
Whatever. As long as they don't lose 4-5-0 at home to Hungary in the World Cup.
Yeah, but it's England's worst ever home result since the 1920s. Come on.
It means nothing. It means jack shit. So
it's something to win, isn't it? It's something to win. It's not the World Cup or the Euros, but it's something to win.
I won't worry too much about that. Right, listen, I have got to go.
Right, so let's wrap up. Yeah, thanks to everyone for joining us in the chat. It's been a good discussion. It was a nice little one, like quiet, just the two of us. So I haven't seen the leaked away shot. I'll go look at that now, Matt, and see what that's.
Send it over, and we'll put it on the screen before we go.
Yeah, if you've got a link to it in the chat, we'll put it up. Because I haven't seen it at all. I haven't even heard of that it was leaked. Have you seen anything of it?
I've seen something that's black and red, but I've seen that from months ago.
Yeah.
And I think
that's it. I was in the club shop the other day and I looked at the home shirt in person and it's all right, but it's plain. But without this is one of the shirts that needs the Betway.
Yeah,
it absolutely needs to, because without the Betway, it looks so plain.
I bet it's like a training top. It does look like a training top. It looks like a training top that we've had a couple of I think last season.
Yeah,
with all the fucking like spray paint effect over it and all that. No, but
let's see if I can quickly.
Just before you all go as well, up until Father's Day, if you want to go and get something from our store, there is 20% off across the store. With the code Hammers20 in capital letters, 20% off everything across the store. It might be a little bit late to get it delivered for Father's Day, but you can go on there and get sort of a voucher, 20% off for a voucher or something like that. Or if you want to, tell your dad you've got that. 20% off up until Father's Day. Go and get that stuff from the store. Link is in the description. Yeah, some good t-shirts as well. And we're working on new ones for next season. So
sure, that's it. Get them in because better than the stuff in the club shop. Trust me, I had a look the other day and Jesus.
Yeah, shocking in there, isn't it?
Some absolute tat in there for real. I just looked on Twitter. Can't see anything about the leaks thing. It's just coming up with all the 2016 and 2019 leaks. So I'll have to have a proper look at that, and we'll see. Hopefully, it's better than the home shirt. That's for sure. But yeah, no, it's been a good one. Lots to talk about. Keep up to date with everything else on all the social medias, and have a good weekend. Try and stay cool.
The latest edition of the podcast on Patreon.
Podcast on Patreon. Another edition out every week. When's the next one out? Tuesday, Wednesday?
Yeah, it'll be Wednesday this week.
So look out for that on Wednesday. Hopefully there'll be more transfer news to talk about. Aguerd should be officially announced on Monday, and then we'll hopefully get Areola wrapped up.
I'll be back with a transfer daily tomorrow evening, by the way.
Look out for that. Straight up transfers. So have a good Friday. Stay cool. One thing left to say. Come on, you Irons.